Good morning. Welcome to Wilton Presbyterian Church. We are so glad you're here. Wherever you are in your journey of faith, you are welcome here this morning. We have a special introduction, actually two thank yous and introductions. I'd like to introduce and welcome and thank all at once our cellist. Please remind me. Susan, thank you for being here. You have one? And also our special partner at Open Door Shelter, Michelle Condorino. Thank you for being here. All right, the children, you have a choice this morning. If you are in kindergarten through 4th grade, you may choose whether to go to church school with Pastor Tommy or to stay, and we're going to be having the service partly in the sanctuary to begin, and then moving into the parish hall to make sandwiches. So you may choose to go to church school now or to stay and join us for sandwich making. A few more announcements this morning. As we think chronologically ahead, I'm going to try to do it that way because there's so much happening, so many exciting things happening. This coming Saturday, 2 things are happening. The first is that we'll be going on the midnight run this Saturday, November 22nd. There are still openings for the 5 o'clock preparation. So if you're not able to go on the run, but want to come and be part of the action, you can come around 5 o'clock and prepare the sandwiches. You can also help by bringing in those donations. So those are on the Sign Up Genius. Ralph talked about it last week, especially need warm hoodies and large items. And the bins will be out Saturday, I believe, for you to donate those things. Also that night on Saturday, Rodney is performing in a concert here in the parish hall at 7 o'clock. Would you like to say anything else about it? You can pay at the door. Don't need to buy tickets in advance. 7 o'clock on Saturday.
We hope somebody shows up for this event. It's called The Good Time Girls, and it's the music of Mae West, Marilyn Monroe, and Madonna. And the theme is how these 3 women used their femininity to make a mark on the world. And there was all kinds of interesting facts about their lives, and particularly how they contributed to the overall culture. The music is fun and entertaining. It'll be string, bass, drums, piano, and vocalist. And the program is about an hour and 15 minutes. And $20 contribution to help pay for the musicians, not for me, but for the others that are joining in with us. This is the same program that I performed in Midtown Manhattan in September. The performance will also happen again at Curtain Call Theater in a couple of weeks in December. But there are a lot of church things going on at that point. So I can tell you about that if you want to come to that event. It's on December 6th. But we wanted to provide the opportunity for people at Wilton Presbyterian and the community to come and hear the program.
We're excited to host it. A lot happening on Saturday night. And then as we think to a week from today is Harvest Sunday, where we celebrate Thanksgiving. Hard to believe. A week from Sunday is Harvest Sunday. Sign up to bring Thanksgiving food items, kind of during coffee hour, pies, Thanksgiving-related items. There's a Sign Up Genius for that. While we're celebrating the season in Parish Hall, we'll have a short congregational meeting to vote in our new incoming officers that will start in January. Is anything? Oh, Christmas party. Christmas party, mark your calendars, December 7th, Sunday, 5 to 7 p.m. here at the church, December 7th in the afternoon. Okay. Let us worship God together.
To those who are hungry, Jesus says, "Come and eat. There's more than enough for all." To those who are thirsty, he says, "Come and drink. It's free for the taking. Stop wasting your resources on food that doesn't satisfy. Come to me, and you will find everything you need." Let us put on our hairnets or baseball caps, or if you're really short, you don't have to put short hair or not so much hair. You don't even have to put on anything. And worship God together. Let's pray together. Holy and merciful God, unstop our ears so that we may truly listen. Open our hearts to become one with your heart. Forgive us for putting other gods before you. Forgive us for worshiping time, money, success, relationships, drugs, anything else, good or bad, before you. Conform our wills to yours, so that we may fully love you with our heart, with our soul, with all our might, and our neighbors as ourselves. God, hear all of those prayers from the silence of our hearts for the ways that we have missed the mark. We offer those to you now. Amen. Listen to these words of promise spoken by God to each of us from Psalm 81. I would feed you with the finest of the wheat, and with honey from the rock, I would satisfy you. God, we are listening. Feed us with the finest of wheat. God, we are listening. Satisfy us with honey from the rock. Amen. Now I'd like to invite forward Michelle Conrino from Open Doors in Norwalk to share a little bit of what Open Doors is doing and how we can help. Michelle?
Hello, thank you very much for inviting me today, and thank you all for having me. My name is Michelle Condarino. I am the CEO at Open Doors in Norwalk. If you are not familiar with us, we began about 42 years ago as a homeless shelter and a soup kitchen. Both services we still offer today. We also provide street outreach, so anyone who is experiencing unsheltered homelessness, we want to engage with and connect towards housing as well. About mid-90s, we began to develop affordable and deeply affordable housing, so we have 55 units of housing. And then over the last 5 years, we've really been committed to prevention. How can we help people stay housed? How can we prevent this experience from happening? And we do that through access to clothing, food, community resources, employment placement, and financial coaching. So it's a lot, right? It's a lot that we do. We serve about 3,300 people a year. Our soup kitchen provided over 105,000 meals last year. And I have to say that the kitchen, that's 2 meals a day, 7 days a week, every day of the year. It is a lifeline for people. It is a connection point for people. It is how we stay engaged with our community. It's a kind of grab and go. So when I say that we serve 3,300 people a year, if they only use the soup kitchen, we actually don't count them. So in reality, we probably serve closer to 4,000 to 5,000 people every year. It is a beautiful thing to help people with the most basic things. And we're so grateful to be able to provide that service. And we are so grateful to all of you for all of these moments that you create, whether it's coming to volunteer with us, making sandwiches here, dropping food off or clothing off to us. Those are the things that keep us moving. I always love to say that we're your arms, right? You're our heart, we're your arms. And we can't do this without each other. And I think sometimes we think, oh, I can only do this. We need this. The world changes in increments, not in big sweeps. We can't help people if other people aren't helping us and supporting us and helping their own community. Often we can be a place where you can engage, learn more, be a part. I was saying being part of community, right? We all kind of missing community. I get to be in community every single day. And I feel incredibly blessed to work my passion, to be in community, to understand people in a way that most people don't get the opportunity to do. And I really encourage you all to come. Now you know a face. if you didn't before. Come down, visit us, spend time with us. We love having visitors. We love having volunteers. And I think the more we spend time with each other, the more we understand how interconnected we all are and how giving food or making food or serving food benefits you just as much as it does the person that you're giving that food to. Because sometimes we feel like we can't change the world, but we can change our little corner of the world. And I live in that passion and that drive every single day. And I really just encourage everybody to come down and be a part of that because it feels really good. And it is a beautiful place to be and spend time with and reinstill a little hope in the people we serve, and I think in all of us. So thank you very much for being a part of Open Doors today. And I hope to see you again in the future.
Here's what we believe. We believe that night always gives way to the dawn. We believe that war always gives way to peace. We believe that death is shattered by life. We believe God is doing a new thing every minute of every day. God is at work around us, within us. For the homeless, a place to live. For the hungry, a feast. For the thirsty, a cup of cold, clean water runs over. For the weary, rest. For the lonely, a friend. For the sick, healing, wholeness. We believe that every minute of every day, God is making all things new. Giving and giving and giving again. We are called to be a part of God's work of generosity. We are called to also to give our time, our talent, our treasure to this God work of making all things new. So let us begin that now with our morning offering.
Hands of a child, the hands that are grateful.
Listen to these words from Matthew, chapter 26. While they were eating, Jesus took a loaf of bread, and after blessing it, he broke it. He gave it to the disciples. He said, "Take, eat. This is my body." Then he took a cup, and after giving thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you. For this is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will never again drink of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." Hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. Thanks be to God. Those verses should sound a little familiar, right? Last week, Jessica preached on those verses as well. She talked about the table as a place of hospitality, but more than that, a place where forgiveness and hope intersect with the breaking of bread. And today I want us to think a little bit about the uniquely intimate nature of Christian communion. I mean, if there's one basic thing that human beings do for one another from just about the very first moment that a human being comes into the world, it's being fed and feeding. I don't think it's a stretch to really call it the very core of what it means for a human being to care for another person. It's a way to show love, to demonstrate concern, to connect. And it's a way that persists despite almost any circumstances. I mean, my wife Lauren and I have a teenage boy, and right now it often feels like there is very little that we can do right. We ask too many questions, or we ask stupid questions, or we are annoying, or our mere existence often seems to be a source of irritation to him. And yet, even when he wants nothing to do with us, Lauren prepares a snack for him between school and his afternoon activities every day. Sometimes I do it, but mostly Lauren. And we talk about what that snack should be. Even when we don't talk about anything else, at least we talk about the snack. That act of giving and receiving food, it's a form of communication that keeps us connected even when hormones and tempers and stress stretch us apart. I also remember a family vacation to South Carolina some years ago that I took with my in-laws. At that time, Lauren was pregnant and nauseous. And we had an au pair with us from Peru named Melissa. And we decided it would be a great thing to take her with us. She'd never been anywhere in the United States besides Connecticut. We took her down to South Carolina. There was a beach, and she spent the entire time in her room arguing with her boyfriend in Cusco. And then we had river rats in our condo that made a visit to the kitchen every night, and then we put out some traps, and then they still made visits, but then they couldn't escape because they had these little weenie traps that we put out for little mice, not the big things, get stuck to their tails, so then they would be squealing as they tried to escape, and we had exterminators coming in, and they were standing on tables, and I stepped on a stingray when I was dancing through the waves with Henry, and had to go to the emergency room what's it down there? What's down there in South Carolina? The place near Fort Sumter. What's it called? What's it? Charlestown. Thank you. Yes. I think that's what it is. Yes. And it was hot. And it was humid all the time. Nerves were stretched so hair thin on that trip. But there were the meals. Shrimp and grits. And Melissa even came down from the room one time and cooked us lomo saltado. And it was awesome. And there's so much about that trip that I want to forget, but I don't ever forget those meals. Everyone got along. Everyone was content just being where we were. We cooked for one another. We ate. And those are the moments that frame those trips. When we feed another person, it's literally giving them energy, right? That's what calories are, energy. It's life. So it's no wonder that nonprofits like Open Doors, regardless of all those many programs, the food pantries and the job security, all the housing, that the food pantry, that the serving of meals that Michelle mentioned are so central and stay at the core of all of these social service agencies. It's the most fundamental form of care. And religions of the world have communal meals as a part of them, of their philosophies. But I still think Christianity is somewhat unique. Because that sacred meal of communion is not the meal where we reach out to God. It's the meal where God comes to us. It's the only meal, I think, where we're in that same way. God comes to us in that simple, intimate way. Not miraculous, not small. Simple. Just like in those verses from Matthew. We eat. We drink. And God is there. We're not required to honor God with big sacrifices, say special prayers. God says, eat. Drink. I'm there with you. Eat. Drink. I'm right here. And it resonates. It's brilliant in the simplicity. Every home-cooked meal, every family trip for ice cream, every holiday extravaganza, every ball game pretzel, every after-school snack, every bottle or breast offered to a soft, squirming infant. Every time we are cared for at that most essential level, we get that echo. I'm here. I love you. You might remember that in Genesis, the Bible talks about how God created humanity in God's own image. In the divine image, God created them. I think we often imagine these verses as referring to some sort of physical or psychological attribute or attitude that bears some similarity to the divine. But there's an interpretation that some scholars suggest, and which resonates with me, is that that image refers to a sort of role that human beings play. In ancient times, kings and leaders couldn't take plane flights to quickly visit the far reaches of their kingdoms. Sometimes they were needed in multiple places at once, and when situations like this arose, they would provide a trusted advisor with a crest or personal identifier which would convey to whoever that advisor visited, this individual is my image, my representative. And to the advisor, you are acting in this situation as me. Respond to whatever situation you might encounter as I would. We are created in the image of God, in other words, as God's representatives here on earth. Charged with the honor, charged with the responsibility of doing God's work in the world. That's what image of God means. So can you see where I'm going? If God comes to us, is made known to us most clearly through that act of eating and drinking, and we are to be God's image, to do God's work in the world as God's representatives, then we too should be feeding one another. It's not just a nice thing to do. It is perhaps more than just about anything else, the thing to do, if we're going to be true to our calling. And so that's what we're going to do. Right now, we're going to go into Parish Hall, and we're going to create 150 sandwich meal kits for Open Doors. And just as we eat and drink and know God is with us, so we will provide food and drink for others to give love as love is given to us. And as we make the sandwiches, of course, talk to one another if you want. You can interact. But I want you to consider also that what you are doing truly is a sacred act. You are not just slapping meat and cheese between some bread. This is not just a turkey sandwich, but a symbol of the greatest love the world has ever known. Can you imagine if Costco put that on the packages? I don't know whether that would sell more or not. Yeah, I'm being a little silly, but not entirely without some truth. We're going to have stations, people putting bread on the table, people putting turkey on the bread, people putting cheese on, people putting chips, a granola bar, a mandarin orange. It's all in there. We want about 8 people at every table. We've got a couple of chairs towards the end where people will check and make sure that there's everything in every bag and seal them up. There are blue chairs if you're not feeling like putting on a hairnet, because you can't do anything unless you're wearing a hairnet. Thank you to Karen and Chris and to Mike and to Dave and to Berta and everybody who put it on when I've been having this stupid thing on my head the whole day. Yes. Put one on, you'll get some gloves, and we're going to make a sandwich. And I encourage you to consider what you're doing as a sacred act. And if you're not feeling it, sit in the blue chair, watch the cacophony. We're going to make it work. So let's go. Come on.